Yo, so I've been meaning to like record thoughts on the market, but I'm just fucking lazy. And I thought like considering it's fucking over on the lower time frames and we're all gonna die, I was like, fuck it. I'll just start doing it. I did this like 2 days ago, but then just didn't record and kinda gave up. But anyway, I think just like from a simple market standpoint, the easiest thing to do here is just view this as like a range, right? However the fuck you want to draw it. And right now we're seeing this like pivot hold. Let me make this red so you can actually see it. Um, so it's like everyone's got their eyes on like this level down here, right? Like a sweep into here, whatever the fuck it does, right? Which is like fair enough. And this is a trade I think that pretty much everyone's going to be looking to take. And so I think like the execution behind it might be a bit different. What the fuck? But anyway, and then from here, essentially, um, I think the best thing to do is treat because it's counter trend, and we can just use something like this, right? Very simply. These are just like simple EMA bands, right? You can see that like this was carrying it the whole way up, right? Carrying it, what? Carrying it. Then we got a range, which swipe below, continued. We had a range, and then it lost it, and then it died, and then it basically did the inversion, right, of this here. Hold on, right? So we had this range here, took out the low, went, here we had a range, took out the high, and then went. So it looks kind of like more of an inverted disc to me, right? So what does that mean? It means you don't want to be fading anything from here, even if you get a long here, or even if you long like this, right? At least from the way I trade, I think it's pointless to just aim for just new highs, right? I don't think it's going to be very likely. You just play with the trend. So you can just highlight this sort of gap here, right? And then you can see here, I'm pretty sure there is a gap here, right? Here we go. This big gap here. I'm not going to explain why gaps are cool or why this or why that. This is just what I think. And honestly, like sweeping any of these highs, I think is a pretty good trade. Because it's just a trend continuation, right? And then you can aim for new lows, or you can aim for some sort of mean reversion setup, right? Um, which would look like, let's say, price comes here, and maybe it just comes out to take these lows, right? So you can change your target depending on what the fuck happens, right? Or maybe you have this local range here, right? And then price just sweeps it. So, I mean, that's the trade. However the fuck you want to manage it, relative to what happens, is your own call. But this type of trade here reminds me of, gosh, can I find this? I think it was here, yeah. This situation here. I mean, there's so many times I'm just picking like different instances. So it would make sense to like get another fucking low printed there. Um, but yeah, the main thing to know is that any longs are going to be counter trend, any shorts are going to be pro trend. So you can be a lot more aggressive with sizing on your shorts than you can be with your longs, just because of where the fuck is it? Oh, didn't mean to do that. Just because of this, right? This is the same bands on here. It's just shown a bit simpler. We get like this moon, which to me is actually a big deal. You can see it actually holds some weight, and typically like it works. Not all the time, obviously, because nothing's perfect, but generally, even if it just from a local bottom like here, but like a mean reversion back into the bands, which gets smacked back down. Similar thing here on a different time frame. But you know, typically it is tops and bottoms. Well, you can say it's the climax of the selling, right? Not always, but pretty often. Um, Similar with this, it's often like a climax of buying. Uh, right. That's why we are interested in longs here, because I think being bearish here is very tough. Because even though you are in the middle of like all these ranges, right? I think honestly playing XO would be easier. Actually, no, because the main principle is that you have different balances here, right? You have this, and now you have this one built. You don't want to be fading these because when they go, they kind of go, as you can probably tell, right? I fucked this one up. Um, when expansion is expansion, expansion expands. There you go. That's some genius shit. Um, I've talked about this a few times, and then this is just that balance, right? Where we have this multiple like composite. I don't know if I did this from here. Start here. Stop. Oh, okay, I guess I just merged them all. for like the 8 week. This was 8 weeks merged, right? This is gonna be for the levels. But then I'm just gonna merge them all together point across that like we had this long balance that got stuffed, and now we're just like clearly broke outside this value, right? These are single frames which could be really nice to play into around 86s and 80s. But I'll get onto that when we look at more entry. These are just like market context, right? And getting the point across. Oh, let me do something else. Oh, this one maybe. What in the fuck is going on here? Okay, this is from yesterday. This is basically what I wanted to do now. This is okay. So honestly, this is the same like mousetrap setup from here where we have these recoiling that everyone's gonna take. Here we have the bands around 86s, right? Here, 85s, 86s. Aim back into there. It's complement with this like you have this POC, right? Um, this composite value area. I can show you one here probably as well. Oh, hold on. Da, da, da. Right, you had multiple days of. Well, I guess I'm just retarded. I can't see it. This is daily, right? Well, this is 17. Oh no, this is the week one. Okay. Fuck knows what's going on, man. But anyway, I think these are like the main trades we're looking to take, right? Like either around the value area high, right? Um, here, da 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 da, or the value area low of this range, and then we just find supporting like bullshit, which is like, oh, we have a POC here, we have like a big gap here, a last low pre-break here, and this is just a high. Don't know why it's fucking purple. So any sweeps of that, right, align well. That's basically it for this. In terms of ETH, let's go here. ETH is basically in the same spot, right? I think if you go very intraday, I'm not really interested in trading this bullshit apart from like very locally. That's just how I trade it. The first thing I would do is just do the same shit, right? Let's map out. We have this wick, which was basically a free long. I took this long. It's on my different screen here. Something very similar at least, right? I'm just gonna do it here. Actually, I'm not on this because I've basically already done this. Actually, no, I'll just do it here. So this is your like current range, low range, high, right? So one thing I really like to trade is these internal sweeps, which made some degree of internal structure. So any move back into here, playing it down as either. So what you'll see paid do here is either it'll come back up, take these highs, and maybe you'll get this into a gap before it continues up or breaks back down, whatever the fuck. But often you can still get like 60% of the position off. 3, 4, maybe whatever the fuck happens, you'll see. I think the best way to position into these setups, right, is like, right, you have a POI, price comes into it, and let's say you get like a trigger, right, whatever the fuck it is. Maybe you have this shit ton of buying up here. Price reclaims it, you get in. Just use this to be honest, right? And then you have like some previous cluster or whatever the fuck, however you wanna do it. Let's see if we can do this. Okay, so you have this val. You can just pop it above here, right? See like this, right? So this stop here is what this stop here is, right? But then as price like fucking maybe loses a low, reclaims into a gap, dies, you can like instead of having this first position, you just ape it again with like a tighter stop. So maybe you ape it here, and then the difference between you add these two. Hold on, we're doing some fucking maths here, lads. Make this symmetrical. This now becomes something like this, and you have this tighter position. It's basically the same shit, but instead of this being 1R, right, with a 4.1% stop, you now have basically double the size with an almost identical entry. And maybe you keep doing this as the position goes your way. Like maybe if this is a low, you can get back in again here, and you're like, fuck it, we're gonna enter here and make this even tighter. Or whatever the fuck you want to do, I don't know. That's at least how I size up. Because very often on sweeps, especially internal sweeps like this, can I show you a trade? I can give an example from here very quickly. Is here, right? Trade. So you essentially have this. You have an internal sweep, but on these time frames, it looks fucking dreadful. But essentially, you might be able to enter. Let's say you enter your first clip here, right? With a tighter stop, and you're just targeting like one low. That's like pretty shit. especially since you get like this breaker structure here. I throw back into a gap, right? You get this breaker structure here, right? Which is like confirmation that the market's fucking weak. You couldn't already tell by like this three drive situation up here, right? This is pretty common pattern on ETH, especially. You get a weakness and you fucking just drives up and wicks at one holding and grinds down. You could easily like change it from a this type of stop. You could have added another clip, tightened it up, and now your trade's like pretty significantly different. If you think of like a rounded top as like ay, a rounded top, you don't want all your sizing to be here. Hold on, maybe there's a better way to do this. You don't want all your sizing to be here, right? You want your sizing to be like as this is occurring, to get more and more and more. So maybe like here you're like 1/5, then by here you're like half. As you get like a climax, maybe this looks like this. But here's your half. Here's your 1/5, sorry. And then you get like some very thin move up. This just wrecks people, and then you enter to get the half. And then as it starts showing you more development of weakness, you start clipping in more and more and more and more to get your full size. And then here's obviously you're gonna have your distance to stop. It's gonna be wide. Here it might be smaller, and then here your size is getting bigger. I don't know if that makes sense. Hopefully it makes sense. Holy fuck, I drew a lot. Okay, that's basically it for East, you know. Um, Let me actually count one day. Yeah, I mean, besides that, I would say the only thing I'm interested in on the East. Okay, well, I didn't know what the fuck this is. It's this gap here. This is where I'm buying spot. Some shit like this. I don't even know what the fuck you call it. Just like layer bids in here, have an inbell around here, and I don't know, maybe I don't know. You just see it, right? Because essentially this is like a range. This is just basically one big fuck off range, right? Where's the drawing tool here? Right, you essentially have a really big range up here. A quarter might be here. I'm just eyeballing shit at this point, but you can probably get a lot more like fucking better. Do I have an E5 time frame? Okay, I actually have one. We're gonna fucking use this one, dude. So you can see like it's an interesting spot. So anything like under here, I would say is somewhat like a decent buy. Just for the ability to like you can probably offload it anywhere in here, right? If you want to think about it like discount and premium, anywhere like here is probably considered a good buy, and anywhere up here is considered a good sell. And considering it's just fucking ranging, I think it'll be quite a decent spot play. And if it goes to shit, then it goes to shit, and we fucking kill ourselves. But it's all good, mate. That's that. Let's do hype because hype's been not a lot of bullshit going on with it. Let's use this chart. Oh, this went back up. Okay. I think the easiest thing to do from here is always is first let's just get this open. You can see how it was controlled by this band. This was one reason why I went fucking pulls deep on it. And like I wish I was like, oh yeah, I could predict the fucking news, mate, and I'm fucking sick. But as soon as this flipped, it was similar to here. It just sends. So I just thought, fuck it, I'll do the same shit it worked up last time. Right? You can draw your range here. No, this isn't look good. Yeah, that looks about halfway, doesn't it? Yeah. Alright, there's your range. Right? Just for simplicity's sake. Uh there you go. I think anywhere into I mean when you're looking at this it's like it looks really good, but this looks kind of exhausted to me. And this was like the initial point where I wanted to sell and I have been selling. Just running a TWAP and shit on this. Is up here and I actually shorted this like with initial size. I think my stop's like what the fuck is that? I think my stop's like kind of fucking retarded. It's like here. Right? But again, this is the same principle where like this looks like a major inefficiency to me. Right? I expect this to get tagged. So this isn't just like how I will size into a trade. There's so much shit going on here. Right? So you have a wider stop, right? Maybe you're targeting down here. I don't know. But as price like proves to me, like if we just come up here, right? Let's say we have this. If price just does this, I'm just gonna cut the trade and take like a 0.7 out loss, whatever. If price comes this, what I can do is add onto it, right? If price does something like this, I don't know, maybe I'm adding more. I'm adding, But if you get some like really clear like shit like this, that's where like you just ape and you sell and you just fucking hope, and you instead of this you got trade like this with an original sizing. But at this point, if like it just fucking dies or whatever, I think this is too risky of a trade, right? I think this is how people get right because I think they're right about the entry, but the way they execute the trade is fucking dog shit. Because I think this is shit in the sense that I definitely can see price get hit. If price does this, I definitely want to be a seller. I would be more of a seller if this happens than here, right? Even though it's kind of backwards. Maybe it's not backwards. I don't really know how people think. But if price sweeps this, I want to be more of a seller than here. The same way if price does this, right? I want to be more of a seller here than here. Because as time is going on, the probability of like a fucking new holy fuck, dude, this looks insane. The probability of a new goes up in the sense that like I'm seeing more and more of a rounded top or top pattern. The same way here, right? You had a sweep, right? You had a mousetrap, you had this demand block holding, you had a high low here after like some micro structure break, bang, grind. Like at this point here, you want to have more size than here. And at this time here, you want more size than here. And at this point here, you want to be longer than you were here for sure. But you want to have more. It just makes sense, right? Anyway, that's really it. That's really everything that's going on. And then to get back on, right? So, hold on, let me delete a bunch of this shit. So I've been selling. I think my spot is like averages around here. I don't really know. And then I have a per position. Actually, I think my spot is like around here because I thought this was about to be the bottom. And then my purpose and my similar. Oh. Okay, this was my perp one that I took, and then this is still like fucking holding on to it. That I took the other day. I'm just not gonna sell this one. Oh fuck! In case it just keeps going. But you can see this trade is just a bait. Where's it gone? It's just the same shit, right? Yeah, sweep. Target went. Fuck, this looks like ass, dude. This could be. This looks pretty similar to me as this. The only difference is. Yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna come lower eventually. I think we just get some mean reversion. But even looking at this, everything just kind of is aligning up for like. I don't know how much juice we have, right? But getting somewhere like 90 seems a bit heavy. But maybe this block around here makes sense. I don't really put much. Like VWAPs are good because I can just like look at it very quickly and be like, yeah, this aligns. Right. Let me just put on the. Where is it? Sync and layout. Uh, like this and like this. That looks interesting. And then this here. So we can see like this lines up with this and everything's lining up. It looks cool. What else is there? Wait, this is kind of fugazi. I always keep this open. I keep forgetting to look at it. But if this like if history's gonna rhyme it, it might be fucked, lads. The liquidation cascade, whatever it aligns, and this looks like it's gonna fucking if this continues, right? Even here, like let me draw a box here. We can say this. Non-extended. Let's make it fucking this color. See, let's make it white. Alright, so we have this. Looks pretty similar as this, dude. And then this also looks quite similar. What do I know? So maybe we don't even fucking do anything and we just die. That would be quite interesting, isn't it, lads? And then this was like a 1-to-1, I guess, right? Or whatever. Yeah, this is about a 1-to-1, so a 1-to-1 would be like 64. This is a 1-to-1 from the top here. Is about 60k bottom. Kind of aligns with this shit. Quite gay. I really wanted 36, but maybe I think 60s, 50s make sense as well. That's really all I'm interested in trading, to be honest. Hype in the sense, I think that this block here could really be some weakness. Because this was like, again, right, okay, maybe I didn't explain enough why. Because you had market structure here, right? I can do this better. you had market structure here, right? That was very bullish, and then it went bearish. But you can see the real point of breakdown of this range, right? Was the selling that kicked in about here. The selling that kicked on here really broke any sign of strength, right? You can see this was uptrending. The second this occurred, it shit itself, and then it retested this zone, shit itself, retested, shit itself. So this whole like area here, I think, is a big thing, right? So we broke this structure. So when we retested, we keep shitting ourselves. The market tried to get above. So I think this whole region could provide some pretty strong fucking resistance. That's why I'm going to do a short. Um, and again, reclaiming this, we just start firing up more. And whether we get down to here, whether we just get here, I don't know. Nice setup as well, though. Maybe it gets up to here into this inefficiency here. You know, like I said, this was a really strong demand block. Maybe it just like sweeps it. Everyone's like, hey, we're going to fucking fly. And then it drops. I would also be looking to short this, to be honest. So it looks alright. I still think these ones. I don't like. I never like to look at these type of like. I'm just like more. I have more conviction behind this being a better long, right? Than this. I think like this is maybe you could get a mean reversion like from here. It just like fills in some of this, right? And then you get the real move down to here, and then you get an actual long that's worth taking into here. I don't know, mate. That's just me though. I'm gonna actually put this as a long here. I'm interested in taking. This is way too fucking high. The low time frame is the same shit. Do we have range low here, range high here? We have a bunch of single prints that we don't even need to pull back out to see, right? I can do though. Okay, that's the wrong one. So it was 83 in the 80s, right? 82, 86, and 90. We're only really worried about like here, which again lines up with um the sweep of these sides. So we're going to take this one. I don't really see anything else that looks alright. I guess this looks okay. Like these 82 ones, if you want to be really like, you know, you can line yourself up with like this, something like this. I think if we take out new lows, similar there, this will just be like a high low setup, low high setup, right? Where you have like prices coming here, breaks down, then you have a retest before continuation down. That's the same setup as this, right? How the fuck it does hit is irrelevant if it comes into this POI. Maybe on like the 2 hour makes more sense, right? Basically market structure. Don't know, seems pretty simple, dude. At least like the market doesn't look fucking AIDS or shit. Again, similarly as with the other one, right? Similarly with ETH, it's probably a long setup here as well. I don't know which one comes first. It's basically the same setups as always. Considering as long as the market's ranging, these setups are always here. Oh, this doesn't look as good now. Do I like this one as much? Not really. Hmm. Honestly, maybe like at the lower end of this. And then this one was just like a standard mouse chop. It's a bulky move. Along with like wherever the fuck the high time frame line is here, right? There's a big high time frame sweeper. But I think these are like the intraday trades. Um, obviously, like, yeah,